to all my patrons and the people who waited a year. This is going to be the Shotgun a Beer episode of Fix My Car Cast. And I will tell you up front, I have never done that before. So we'll see how this one goes. Also, I'm going to do it outside, so I don't need to worry about getting a thumbnail. I just have to remember to get a thumbnail when I move outside because, again, having never done this, I'm not risking spilling it on the floor, so we're going to have to do that outside. Just realized my hair is atrocious, but to be honest, I feel like it kind of gives me the college vibe that I'm looking for here. College party vibes, bro, which is not part of the gimmick, but is probably where it's going to end up. So let me think of something to say to start this thing. And then let's start this thing. What do you say? We've had a lot of ones that don't need like post-production in a row, so it's kind of neat to not have to explain any of that. Bro, beer pong, bro. You gotta play winner, bro, okay? And then this is where the theme song goes. I'm just quiet so I can see in the waveform where it goes. If you'd like to learn more about audio production and sound design, ask someone else. I don't know what I'm doing. You're listening to Fix My Car Cast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 121. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert is switching out the kegs, but first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level, and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Bro, you gotta get the t-shirt, bro. Bro, how are we gonna know you're cool if you don't get the t-shirt? You gotta get the t-shirt, bro. We have a new donor this week. Thank you, Anonymous6, for donating $10. Hey, every little bit helps. The total raised for paying off my car repair debt is now $2,160. Also, when we get to $3,000, it unlocks an automatic show gimmick, which is I will record an episode at sea. Fun fact, did you know this whole podcast disappears when we hit $10,000? Let's bounce, this party's lame, bro. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to break out a little cover of Wonderwall? Well, legally I can't, but want me to make it sound like Oasis? I'll do it, $50. Don't do that one. Also, if you would like to own the painting I made in episode 118, I'll be giving it away to the next person who donates $100 or more. That's right, own a piece of Fix My Car Cast history. While you still can. No new patrons this week, bummer. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is the scam my sister and I pulled at a Dunkin' Donuts. Want to know more? Donate today. It's a fun one. Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most. And our big winner is Boston, Massachusetts. Congratulations, Boston, Massachusetts. Let it be known that your Faber College, Grand Lakes University, and Blue Mountain State are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I talked about why or why not all adults should take part in a tabletop RPG campaign while destroying a painting. You can see video of all the raw footage, plus a little extra, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about movies. I get to talk about whatever I want on the bonus episodes, and frequently what I want to talk about? Movies. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are Do It Like Siskel and Ebert, Shotgun 2 beers. What the hell? I haven't even shotgunned 1 beer. Incorporate 10 Taylor Swift lyrics. And our returning gimmick, get complimented by my Valentine. So, let's review. That's number 1, do it like Siskel and Ebert. Number 2, shotgun 2 beers. Number 3, incorporate 10 Taylor Swift lyrics, which will put me on Swiftie radar, and also will piss off the donor for that episode. And our returning gimmick number 4, get complimented by my Valentine, which at this point in time will in fact be fan favorite Goose returning to the show. Unless I really fuck up in the next 7 days. So yeah, a vote for Valentine is a vote for Goose, and a vote for Taylor Swift would just be the funniest thing ever, but I can't tell you why right now. I know things that you don't know. All right. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, May 2nd at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is shotgun a beer. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the Gimmick Zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. Today's topic comes to us from Anonymous6, and I've been asked to talk about beavers. That's it. Just beavers. Now, if you're just listening to the audio version, you may not know this, but I have moved location. And I've moved location for a few good reasons. Number 1, again, you don't want to be indoors when you're rapidly drinking a beer. Number 2, I had plans to be where I am today, right now, so I figured 2 birds, 1 stone. The third reason, and there is a fourth, but we're going to get the ball rolling on the third reason, is because this is where I should have learned how to shotgun a beer. I am at my old college. That's right. My alma mater, if I'm using that word correctly, from 2003 to 2007, I'm at my old college, which I will not reveal just yet, but I figured this is a perfect place to shotgun a beer. Now, I've never done this before. I did look up how to do it online. I have here a Narragansett and my knife, Jacqueline. How she got that name is a story for another episode. Feel free to sponsor it. But here we go. I think I understand the basic principle, and I insert Jacqueline into the beer's butt, and it's going to fizz, and then I need to widen the hole, and I have done that, and I've just kind of spun the knife around, and now I've got a pretty sizable hole for putting my face into. Now, I'll fully admit I don't understand the physics behind this. But that doesn't really matter right now because that's not a requirement. It wasn't learn the physics of shotgunning a beer. It was, in fact, just shotgun a beer. I am so worried this is going to go so horribly. But, folks, here we go for science. All right. I've been shot in the face. What a horrible experience. And I got my Franklin Pierce t-shirt all wet. Check the link in the description to get your own Franklin Pierce t-shirt. A student walked by at the exact moment I did that and had a big smile. All right, can away. Let's talk about beavers. So, I don't know a whole lot about beavers. I'm not an expert on beavers. I have printed off the Wikipedia page for beavers just in case I need to learn more. But until that point, I'm just going to kick it from the hip. What do I know about beavers? Well, let me see. Who are the most famous beavers? Excuse me. I'm still shaking off what I just did. Pardon the burp. Oh, and I probably got beer all over the mic. If this audio is all screwed up, I'm going to have to do this all over again, which shouldn't be too hard. A beer is pretty cheap. Anyway, Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is the rest stop that you can find in the South. I don't know if it's just in Texas, but my friend Kelly Nova, who actually hosted an episode of this show, the Body Swap episode. I forget the exact number, but it's somewhere in the original 30. It's during COVID week,
So go check that episode out if you want to hear the lovely voice of Kelly Nova. But yeah, she's a Texan, and she regularly sends me Buc-ee's stuff. I'm kind of obsessed with Buc-ee's. It's just this wonderful little thing that we don't have in the North. Of course, I live in Akron, Ohio, Maine, so I'm far away from any local Buc-ee's. I did not think to grab them, but Kelly has sent me a Buc-ee's lighter, a Buc-ee's nail file, and Buc-ee's beaver nuggets. If you've never had Buc-ee's beaver nuggets, you should try them. They make sweet ones, they make spicy ones. You can order them online and they will send them to you, or you can have a friend who's a Texan and she will send them to you. So that's it for beaver mascots, except for one more. There is the Angry Beavers. Now, I never watched that show. I think that I was just a little off from the age group for that. No, I don't know. I think I was actually right in the sweet spot, but I didn't have cable, so I've never seen Angry Beavers. I don't know anything about it. I think one of the beavers is the voice of Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is all I know. What was that show about? If you were a fan, write in, tell me, because I do not know. I assume they were angry with each other. I don't know. I feel like the ads didn't really play up the anger, so I'm not sure what was going on there. I think they were just beaver roommates. That's what it seemed like to me whenever I saw clips of it. Not sure what they were so angry about. If anyone can tell me, please let me know. Now let's see. Beavers and Ducks is a line from the film Bandits. No, don't go down that road. No one's seen that movie, Billy, and most people haven't even seen a movie. Beavers, of course, famous for their dams, if I can say that. Another beaver fact that I know: you get vanilla flavoring from a beaver's ass. Don't take my word for it, but I remember reading an article about artificial vanilla flavoring can be made from the glands of a beaver's ass. I've also heard that beaver's milk is so thick it's like drinking whipped cream. So you can't stump me with any topic. Almost any topic that comes through here, I can get to an interesting fact. So anyway, I do not advocate stealing the milk of a beaver, but if you see one, lick its butt and tell me if it tastes like ice cream. That's going to be the title, isn't it? No, it's too long. Lick a beaver's butt. That's nice and short, but I wouldn't just force that to be the title now, would I? Anyway, that's the taste of beaver. Now, of course, beaver is also slang for a part of the body, and I don't know how that came about. I think I learned that from, if I'm remembering correctly, Kurt Vonnegut's Breakfast of Champions, where I believe he draws a vagina, and then he draws a beaver, and then he explains that the word beaver is used for both of these things. I believe, if Kurt is correct, he says that it was a code word that news photography... Oh, excuse me. Whew. That shotgun blast is really getting to me. I'm glad that mostly went off without a hitch. I say not being able to see the video, I'm sure it dribbled all over me. I think it was according to Kurt Vonnegut in, I think, Breakfast of Champions, beaver was the code word that you would yell to other photographers, aka look out, someone's underwear have come off at the scene of whatever we're photographing. I find it a little weird that would happen so often that you needed a code word for it. And it wouldn't just be, I don't know, decency, look away, something like that. I guess that's how it came about. I don't know. I don't think it particularly looks like a beaver. I don't know. Roast beef curtains seems a little more accurate to me. It doesn't even have buck teeth, unless you're talking about the movie Teeth. And even then, they weren't buck teeth. But that's another thing beavers are known for. Buck teeth. Now, wait a minute. Okay, I hadn't thought of this. Leave it to Beaver. How did that kid get named Beaver? Did he have buck teeth? I don't think he did. I also was like, there's that beaver from Winnie the Pooh, but then I realized I think that is a gopher, and I did want to get into this today, confusing beavers, gophers, otters, groundhogs. I feel like they're probably all in the same family. That would be a good time to go to the Beaver Notes. Yeah, let me just check Beavipedia here. Okay, so the North American beaver. Oh wait, this is just okay. This is about beaver in general, but the picture is of a North American beaver or a Castor canadensis. So let's see. They're rodents. Okay, mammals, rodents. I guess Castoridae and Castorinae are the family and subfamily. Yeah, I feel like it's really easy to confuse like beavers with other species of rodent. Now, when a Wikipedia page doesn't typically just say, "Hey, here's the neat information you need to know up front." Taxonomy. Okay, Carl Linnaeus coined the genus Castor in 1758. I previously only know Castor from Castor Troy of Face Off because my brain is powered by trash. So yeah, I guess Castor would be a great name for a beaver. Oh wow, they're evolutionarily related to kangaroo rats and kangaroo mice and gophers. So that's why I confuse beavers and gophers. Gophers and beavers, beavers and gophers. That's why I confuse them, because they're very close. And you know, when people are very close, I can't tell them apart. All right, well, that's good to know. They evolved in the Grand Coupure, a time of significant changes in animal species, around 33 million years ago. I must have just missed it. I am not that old. Characteristics. Beavers are the second largest living rodents after the capybara. That's cool. Love me a capybara. Good job taking the number one spot, capybara, but we're here to talk about the beav. At one point, I took a detour through Leave It to Beaver. I have seen a few episodes of that show, and I don't get the appeal. And I know that that's what every sitcom was like back then. Like, it's just kind of the families having a domestic squabble, and we didn't really update it until, you know, the workplace sitcom, which I don't know what that was. McHale's Navy, Hogan's Heroes, something like that. War is work. I mean, let's be honest, most jobs are funding war, so, you know, let's go down that road. Beavers, aren't they fun? So yeah, they make their little dams and they slap the mud with their little flappy flap tails, so that's fun. Yeah, I think I'm kind of at the end of my list of famous beavers. Oh, wait! There's the film Hundreds of Beavers. I have not seen the film Hundreds of Beavers, but every friend of mine who went to a special screening of it could not recommend it enough. And what I find interesting about that is it looks like a wacky slapstick comedy. It looks very Elmer Fudd versus a rodent, but in this case, it's Hundreds of Beavers. I know almost nothing about the movie. It seems very slapsticky. I'm so intrigued. That could be a future topic. Sponsor me to review Hundreds of Beavers. I do believe it's available on streaming now, so I'll have to check it out. Again, I don't know a darn thing about it. There's like a guy in a beaver costume, and he's running from what appear to be other people in beaver costumes, but I think you're just supposed to use your imagination and know that those are supposed to be regular beavers versus the angry ones. Again, I don't know why a beaver would be angry. I'm sure you're screaming something about beavers that I should know and be recalling and talking about right now, but sorry, I think the well has gone dry, probably because of the expert beaver dam that's been constructed. I'm going to peruse for more random beaver facts. You can find them in Western Russia, the Scandinavian Peninsula. They live in freshwater ecosystems such as rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds. You'd think I would have learned this when I was in college. But no, I did not take Beaver 101. Beaver dams. Ooh, there are environmental effects from beaver dams. Oh, they lead to higher water tables in mineral soil environments and in wetlands, such as peatlands. You gotta... I used to watch another Nickelodeon show, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, where I learned all about peat. But they never covered... Oh, well, beaters... That's from Harry Potter, and we don't talk about Harry Potter around here, unless someone pays me to, I guess. Family life. The core of beaver social organization I play bass for Beaver Social Organization, is the family, which is composed of an adult male and an adult female in a monogamous pair. Boo! Boo! Queer it up. Find polyamory, beavers. I'm sorry, but it's the way. Get on board. All right, I'm going to do a final flick here, because you know what? Not all of these have to be 30 minutes, and I only got $10 for this. So, sorry, Anonymous 6. You get what you pay for, and you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find beavers in culture. Great. Ooh. Native American myths emphasize the beaver's skill and industriousness. In the mythology of the Haida, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, beavers are descended from the beaver woman who built a dam on a stream next to their cabin while her husband was out hunting and gave birth to the first beavers. There's also a Cree story of the Great Beaver, and its dam caused a world flood. Oh man, I love when there's like overlapping mythology, multiple mythologies with a great world-sized flood. Other tales involve beavers using their tree-chewing skills against an enemy. Beavers have been featured as companions in some stories, including a Lakota tale where a young woman flees from her evil husband with the aid of her pet beaver. Ladies, couldn't we all get away from our terrible husbands? Let's go on the run with our pet beavers. Oh, you know what this reminded me of? I do know one more pop culture beaver. There's a Mel Gibson movie called The Beaver. I've never seen it. I know it's about him running around with a beaver puppet. I think Jodie Foster directed it, or at the very least is in it. I know nothing about it. You can also sponsor me to watch The Beaver. You can sponsor me for a double feature of The Beaver and hundreds of beavers, and I'm betting I'll like one more than the other. All right, folks. The beaver is featured on the coat of arms of the London School of Economics. Cool. There's also something about a beaver in Dante's Divine Comedy. What? And the writings of Athanasius Kircher, who wrote that on Noah's Ark, the beavers were housed near a water-filled tub that was also used by mermaids and otters. Now, I can always find the path to mermaids with any topic, and I have once again, but, so if the myth is supposed to be that that's where the mermaids were kept, why also the real world animal that is the otter? Were otters a myth to some people? I don't know. Anyway, I gotta wrap this up because I gotta see how many more beavers I can find right here on campus, because this brings me to my final point and the reason why I'm standing where I am standing. I went to the University of Maine at Farmington, and their mascot is the beaver. And we got made fun of all the time for being the beavers because, again, the vaginas. I do not know if there was any truth to this whatsoever, or if some on-campus comedian just came up with this and started spreading the rumor. But at one point, I have not looked this up. You are welcome to look this up if you would like. There was a rumor that they were going to change the name of UMF, which I love, kind of sounds like an abbreviation of you motherfucker. They were going to change the name of UMF to the College of Liberal Arts of Maine, or CLAM, which would have made us the Clam Beavers. Go Clam Beavers! I'm sure this wasn't true. I'm sure this wasn't even remotely close to true. I don't even know if that rumor started on this campus. It probably started as a rival schools rumor about us, but I don't know. Did we even have rival schools? What's the point of a rival school? Why are you rivals? Are we all here together to learn? That's my takeaway. Anyway, please drink responsibly. Don't do most things I've done with my life. Don't do anything I did in college. Well, except improv and make movies, and I had a radio show. Those skills have gotten me very, very far in this society. As always, honor the beaver. All right, I'm gonna go see how much beaver shit I can find. Here's a beaver in a hat.
Can I even say that? Just a little update for everybody. They changed the name of the snack bar.